Hey guys, Steve from the Zappable team here, and in this video I want to give you a quick update to some changes that have been happening within the Apple system, in particular how you submit apps to the App Store. Now, like I said, there have been some changes, and this is all to do with a combination of two-step authentication and two-factor authentication. So effectively what this means is how to secure your Apple account. Now that has changed the way slightly in respect to how you submit your IPA files through the Zappable platform to your Apple account. So if I tried to go into my app here and submit this to the IPA store, I would add in all my details and add in my app ID. It will return a fail for my account. Okay, and the reason that it will give you is that there's a generic, there's no generic password set or no app-specific password set. Those are two of the ones which seem to be the most common answers. So the workaround for that is you need to go to your appleid.apple.com and you need to sign in to your Apple account. So I'm going to do that here now. And this is part of my two-step verification. I'm not an Apple user, so I am on the two-step system rather than the two-factor system. So what I need to do is, like I say, log into my Apple ID account, and then I need to scroll down. Okay, and this takes me to the security settings. Now, this is where you need to ensure that you have two-step verification on or two-factor authentication on. You can only have two-factor authentication on if you are an Apple user, and by that I mean you have an Apple device that is of one of the latest releases. I'll make sure that I include a link to the Apple guidance and documentation for how you can set up either two-step or two-factor authentication, and obviously in that it will have the devices and the operating systems on iOS that you need on those devices in order to enable that two-factor authentication. But the key point here is this app-specific passwords. This is where you need to generate an app-specific password to submit your app. So all you need to do is click on the generate password option, and you can use the same password for all of your apps, or if you want to, you can use them or create an app specific password for each app that you generate in the Zappable system. Okay, so for this one I'm going to do unique ones. So I'm going to call it Zappable, and then I'm going to call it by my app name. So in this one, as I said, it's OPG is the one that I'm going to use as an example. So I'm going to call it Zappable-OPG, click on Create, and that's going to give me an app-specific password. So what I will do with this is I'm going to save this password to my my desktop or my computer, and in the files that I have for the app, the administrative files for the app, I will save this password safely in that folder so that if I need it again, I can go back into my system, find the password, and then use that password again. But this is the password that you will use on the Zappable submission thing. So your iTunes username, that doesn't change, that stays exactly the same. And your iTunes app ID, again, that stays exactly the same process as it was before. You get that from inside your Apple Developer account or your App Store Connect account. It's the password section here. That is where you need to add in that password that you just saw on this app specific section of security under your Apple ID account. So copy that password in, like I say, save that safely on your system, and when you're submitting your IPA files through the system, that is where you want to use that password. So even though at the moment it says iTunes password, this has been correct right up to the point of the last week or 10 days or so. And this, like I say, subtle change has resulted in the need to, like I say, to change the way that we submit the IPA files through Zappable. So if you put that password in there from your Apple ID account as the app-specific password, your username for iTunes is exactly the same as it was before, and your app ID, again, you get that in exactly the same way as you did before. Pop those details in there, click submit, and you shouldn't have any problems adding your apps this way. So like I say, good luck with that, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye for now.